Joy 99.7 FM.
It's 1 o'clock time for the Joy Business Report. Hey, Lord. Coming up, Bank of Ghana warns that increasing non-performing loans and high interest rates in savings and loans companies could affect growth of the financial sector. And former Finance Minister agrees some international credit rating agencies have been biased against African countries, including Ghana. Also on the Joy Business Van, we'll tell you how travel and tour operator and Answer Travel survived a pandemic and an economic crisis. I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Let's delve into the details. Now, former Finance Minister Seth Terkper agrees to some extent that credit rating agencies have some biases against African countries, including Ghana. This is after President Akufo-Addo described some of their actions as reckless. However, Mr. Terkper wants African governments, particularly the Ghanaian government, to be responsible with respect to the fiscal economy, adding the government has not managed the economy well. Speaking on the Super Morning Show, he advised respective African governments to live up to expectations to avoid such downgrades.
There are social, political, and other biases against Africa from centuries, especially since slavery and other colonization. And so I'm not about to deny, any bias against, Africa. But I think we should also own up, in certain instances. In 2015, and let me be very specific, in 2015, up to 2015, all the bonds, the domestic bonds we are talking about today, were treated like treasury bills.
Seth Terkper is former finance minister. Now, the head of banking supervision at the Bank of Ghana, Osei JC, is warning savings and loans companies to take a critical look at rising cost of interest rates and non-performing loans in their books. He stated that the level of non-performing loans is becoming a huge challenge for savings and loan companies. He was speaking at the launch of the 20th anniversary of Bayport Savings and Loans in Accra.
We have observed some marginal increases in the NPL stock of Bayport, and Bayport could manage this to improve the asset quality of the institution. This will also enhance the profitability of the institution. So this is one area that Bayport would have to look at. And also Bayport would have to diversify its funding sources to reduce the leverage and also cut down interest costs. Otherwise, financial risk could crystallize. So these are the areas that we thought Bayport should be looking at to improve, make more profits for the shareholders, to improve customer confidence, increase profitability so that they can lend more to grow the economy.
Meanwhile, Mr. JC has commended the company for their growth trajectory as their total assets increased significantly with a profit of to 27.42 million cedis at the end of December 2022. As part of measures to enhance Ghana's payment system, Azza Finance has announced that it will engage banks and fintechs in the country to provide safe and reliable platform to benefit the financial ecosystem. The move is also expected to link Ghanaian businesses with multinational companies. He was speaking at the Joy Business after engaging importers and exporters. The country director of Azza Finance, Nanaya Osu Banahine, said Ghanaian businesses can only be globally competitive if there's a fast and reliable payment system.
So what we are trying to do is that we are connecting with PSPs and banks, not just in Ghana, but the African continent, to be able to enable a seamless cross-border payments. And so that's what we are focusing on. So we want to create that seamless cross-border payment that takes away most of the high cost of making payments outside of the country. Yeah, so we are a B2B. So our goal is actually to work with licensed partners. So we don't actually face customers. We provide that technology infrastructure and operational infrastructure with compliance and regulatory regimes to enable these transactions to happen. So we stay behind and empower the fintechs and the banks.
You heard Country Director of Azza Finance, Nanaya Osu Banahin. That's the end of the Joy Business Report. Please stay tuned for the Joy Business Van after this break.
Cargo handling can be so tiring. Having to shuffle between banks to make payments. And waiting hours for payment confirmation. And And worst of all, incurring avoidable costs due to payment delays. Chalet. But with EcoBank, making cargo payment has become super convenient through their digital self-service and in-branch channels. Sail smoothly with EcoBank and experience our one-stop payment solutions for all your cargo-related payments. Pay your customs duties and all levies, terminal handling and shipping line fees, and enjoy smart financing solutions to support your cargo handling operations. Contact us on 0800 003 225 or walk into the nearest EcoBank branch to find out more. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Welcome back to the Joy Business Van, brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and MTN Business. What are you doing today? And today on the van, COVID-19 pandemic and an economic crisis, the last 3 years have been very tough for the travel market. Several collapsed and others are yet to fully recover. Today on the van, we hear how the travel business Adanse Travels, founded by businessman Gideon Asare, navigated what was the toughest period for the industry in recent times.
After operating from Obuasi in the Ashanti region for 3 years, Adanse Travels decided to relocate to Accra. The travel business, founded by businessman Gideon Asare, had begun to take shape after a difficult 3 years. In the 4 years that followed, the business evolved.
So from 2016, when we started these group trips, up to 2018, 3 years we are just doing that. Of course, with ticketing, which comes part of the group. But from 2018, when we had mastered that art, we started adding, we brought back our domestic tourism, and then we started doing inbound. So inbound is those from abroad who also want to see Ghana.
But in 2020, Adanse Travels had to shut its office. The COVID-19 pandemic had struck and there was a lockdown.
We had to stay home 7 solid months without anything, because the airports were closed, everything was closed. And at the time we had 19 staff, and it was not easy because that was like a period that we were growing so fast, because in 2019 we did so many amazing things, and we had planned what we call Agenda 2020 tours in the beginning of the year with so much anticipation, and then the COVID came.
The pandemic posed a big challenge to businesses, but among the most hit was the travel industry. While some businesses totally gave up, Gideon saw an opportunity to bond with clients.
I remember what we were doing. When I tell people, they laugh. We were cooking with our clients. We were singing karaoke with our clients. We had doctor on standby with every week, like helping our clients on virtual. We used Zoom a lot during the COVID. So we set Zoom. Our client will come on Zoom, and we will have one of our staff leading a karaoke session. Sometimes you have a camera in one kitchen, one of our staff kitchen, cooking a certain meal, maybe how to do a buffalo. You understand? And our client will join on Zoom.
The pandemic was also an opportunity to retrain staff and improve. Gideon himself took a class in digital marketing. It was a silver lining for the business, and it paid off.
By the time COVID was over, we were the first group around the world to move over 40 passengers. We did that with joy, with max to travel outside. Even when we reached the airports, they didn't want them to go because they were surprised. How did I get them? Yes, because people had been in their houses for long, they wanted fresh air.
Because of the bond Adanse Travels created with clients, it was not difficult to get them traveling again after the lockdown was lifted. But the pandemic era was not the most challenging time for Adanse Travels. The travel business actually experienced explosive growth after the pandemic, but an economic crisis in Ghana in 2022 took a toll on operations.
I remember using 8 cedis to price my tours, and then had to pay airlines for 12 cedis. That's 50%. And if you are doing small volume, you cry, but it's small. But if you are doing big volume like the way Adansi was doing, then so every client who was traveling, we had a trip to Europe, and we had to spend like 3,000 cedis per client to top up their trip for them to go.
There were two options: either cancel the trips or Adansi tops up for customers.
It was very bad. Like that was more than COVID.
And in this case, there were hundreds of them. Gradually, Adansi Travels is navigating the challenging year. But there are many successes to celebrate too. Unique travel products, trips to 30 countries and still counting.
We decided that for our 8 years, we wanted 800 people to travel. Wow. And that was 2021 was still COVID. We partnered with Lens Entertainment, with Tata and Kwame Eugene had just won the Artist of the Year. I went to Dubai, I spoke to a few hotels and to block rooms, and they were like, our rooms are there, but we don't believe that you can bring this number to us, but go and do what you can. We came to Joy, we sat down, they will also embrace the idea, and we started. And it was everywhere.
Gideon and his team pulled it off, and it was the talk of town. The travel and tourism industry is changing post-pandemic. Next time, we'll hear how Adansi Travels is innovating.
And that's the story of Adansi Travel founder Gideon Asari. You can catch it on Business Live on the Joy News channel at 5 p.m. That's it for Joy Business Van, brought to you by EcoBank, your Pan-African bank, and MTN Business. Now, does your existing salary account give you more? Is your salary in the right account? Worry no more. The EcoBank salary account is here to help you. Open an EcoBank salary account today and enjoy free life insurance, which covers temporary and permanent total disability, critical illness, hospitalization, retrenchment, and death. With the EcoBank salary account, you have the ability to save as you spend, free debit card, access to loans, and more. The best part is that you stand the chance to double your salary in the EcoBank Double Salary Promo, reloaded from now till end of July. So open an EcoBank salary account today by visiting an EcoBank branch or ecobank.com to open an account online for amazing benefits. Please beware of scammers who may contact you on this offer. Always visit an EcoBank branch or call EcoBank toll-free on 0800 003 225 for further details on the EcoBank salary account and the EcoBank Double Salary Promotion Reloaded. And remember, terms and conditions apply. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Ignition is next. Do enjoy.